Brown will pick that up. We are also live on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, and it's housed. You can go watch this again or watch it anytime you want. All of these calls are definitely on YouTube if you want to watch them in a row. We're not going to have a guest this week. You're just going to get me. Try not to keep the call too long. What I wanted to talk about is this nasty, horrible, low inventory market that we're in right now. And I just want to share some different things with you. Okay, so number one, not having anything to do with inventory, just the market alone with rates. You all have heard me talk about this before. As I travel around the country, it's been a long time since the rates have really gone up. It's been a long time. So there are legions of loan officers that have never originated in a market where the rates really swung up before. And, I want to make sure of one thing that you're definitely doing that I take for granted that everyone's doing that they're not. And that is when you're running numbers for someone, you're doing a pre-qual. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're quoting this to the borrower, you're quoting this to the person you're talking to. You're just running numbers when you're talking to them to see if they're qualified. You should be a half minimum, and some loan officers are a point over when they're running the numbers. Okay. Now remember, you're not necessarily telling the borrower what you're doing. You're just making sure they're covered no matter what happens in the market. So if the rate you're looking at is 4, you should be running the numbers at 5 and make sure that they're good at 5. That doesn't mean you're necessarily giving them a payment at 5. You're telling the agent, you're telling them, hey, you're good to go. All right. Your agent partners should know you're doing this as well. Any of you all that are automatically pushing back thinking, Joel, you don't know what you're talking about. The borrowers will go crazy if you do that. All you're really telling me is that you don't really know what you're doing and you don't know how to handle your borrowers, because it's very easy. In order to serve you better, this is what I'm doing. I want to make sure you can get a house. I know you want a house. I know getting a house is very important to you. The one thing none of us can control is the interest rates and what they're going to do. Therefore, I want to make sure you're covered even in a swinging type of market. So I want to make sure you can still get your house if the rates move a little bit between now and when you get your house. And of course, in this market, with low inventory, it's taking people a little bit longer to get their house. So if you want to play ninja ball, what you're really doing is you're telling and you're talking to your agent partners at B2Bs. You're telling them what you're doing. You're letting them know, hey, in order to serve you better, in order to protect the transaction, this is what I'm doing. So if a borrower ever screamed and yelled that, oh my God, the payment's so high, whatever, your agent partner could help you as well. And go right back behind and say, hey, no. I sent you to Steve Luzzy for a reason, and I sent you to him for a reason because he's got to make sure you get a loan and you get the house you want. No one can control the interest rates. They can go up, they can go down, they can move all around. Want to make sure you're good to go if it takes you a little bit of time to find a property. So, take a look at your procedures there. When you're running numbers or when you're doing a pre-qual, what most good LOs do is when they're doing a pre-qual, even if they're using their internal system or looking at an online app or whatever, they've got a pad and a paper right next to them, and they're running numbers to make sure that people are qualified, not necessarily telling the people what the PITI is. You're just running it to make sure they're good. Because as we all know, we have no idea what their total monthly payment is until they actually buy a house. And we know how much they're going to put down, and we know how much the HOA is. We know all of those good things. We don't really know. We're just guessing. That's why a pre-qual is sort of an art, the art of the pre-qual. So again, message here, make sure you are pre-qualing. I would tell you 1 over, 3/4 over for sure, especially with the market moving around. I think Sean Gaudreau very quickly put in the chat, Joel, the market's having a bad day again. Okay. And by the way, those of you that have been in the business 10 years, even 12 years, and you're thinking, oh, don't worry, it'll come back. Take it from someone who has seen the market not come back for 3 years. Ed Brem can chime in here. He's been around as long as I have. Okay. The bottom line is we have both seen this. Those of you people that have been around have seen this. Okay. Ryan Schaefer said, haven't seen swings like this in the last 10 years. Ryan, you're proving my point. Basically, what I'm saying is you guys haven't seen this, but let me tell you, when it takes off and doesn't come back, it's not pretty. If you got a bunch of people hanging out there You got agents with people in cars and they think they're getting a commission on something they're selling, and you got to go back and go, oops, they're not qualified anymore, or change the program. Okay. The other message, I want to make sure everyone knows, this is great. I'll send this right at Ryan Schaefer. It's awesome. He said, I haven't seen this in 10 years. Pretty sure Ryan and I met each other, I think, in 2010 or maybe 2011. I think we've known each other 11 or 12 years. For him, 3 kids later. Okay, we and a wife, 3 kids and a wife later. Make sure, that you are starting to learn about different types of programs and different types of financing. There are a lot of you on this call that do not know how to sell an ARM product at all. As the rates swing up, if they do, those products will become prevalent, and you will need to know how to explain them to potential borrowers or potential buyers. Those of you that know, you've heard me tell this story. Ed knows. I have the same 1-month ARM that I've had since 2005. It is the greatest loan ever. It was great then if you know what you're doing. Okay. And you're going to need to learn how to sell these things, because as rates pop up a little, if they do, maybe they won't, maybe they'll go back down. Who knows? You need to be able to still talk to people. And by the way, little secret, agents don't stop selling houses if the rates are 7%. They don't care. People still want to buy and sell houses. It doesn't matter. Okay. And they're still gonna, and there's still gonna be loans. All right. People don't just go, oh, the rates went up, I'm just not going to buy a house. That's not the way it works. Okay. They might not refinance. I'm sure a lot of you all are in that pain right now. You understand that, but they're not going to not buy a house. If they got 1 kid, now they got 3 kids, and they got a 2-bedroom house, they're buying a house. Okay. So make sure you're starting to really, really educate yourself. All right. So this market, everyone, is all about contract to close. Let me go off to the side for a second. There's probably a bunch of you all right now, I'm talking to my one-on-one people, that are a little bummed out about your unit volume for really what I'm really hearing is April right now. Okay, most people are still having big Marches, big 20, 25 unit close months in March of purchase loans. Maybe 1 or 2 refis in there. They're starting to get worried about April. Couple of things. The agents I'm talking to across the country, I don't know if you all are hearing this as well. A lot of the agents have appointments toward the end of March, beginning of April to list houses. Okay. So I think things are going to start to slowly come on. I think we all know the bus left the station. I don't think the rates are really coming back down anytime soon. I don't think the sales prices are coming back down anytime soon. They may level off, but I don't think they're really coming down anytime soon. Okay. So what it's all about right now is contract to close. How fast can you close it once you have the contract? All right. This is the whole market right now, as you all are having to pre-qual people and write 27 different letters for the same person on all these different houses. Some of you, those of you that do a lot of production in medium-sized markets, probably have this challenge. You wrote 6 lender letters for 6 different clients referred by 6 different agents, all trying to buy the same house. Okay, that is not uncommon if you do a lot of business in a smaller market area. It's not uncommon at all. In fact, it's crazy. Listing agents looking at 6 lender letters all from you with 6 different borrowers. Okay, I know that that's going on right now. Here's what I want to tell you. Those of you that are stressed out, okay, if your phone is ringing and you're doing pre-quals, you're doing good and you're doing your job. You cannot control inventory unless you want to become a builder and start building units so you can do the mortgages on them. That's about the only thing you can do to control this type of market. If your phone is ringing and you are doing pre-quals, do not get down on yourself. Do not get down in the doldrums. Do not think the world is ending. If your phone is ringing, the world is not ending. You are doing your job, because your job is to get referrals, not do loans. Okay? Now, with that said, as you're getting these people in, you better be licking and sticking them. These people better be sitting on your desk, on your floor, or in a virtual cloud. I said desk and floor for Ed Brem because he's old. Okay? Or in a virtual cloud somewhere, completely documented. Done. Everything. Those of you that know my system, BIC. But in car, you are missing nothing. You need to be telling a listing agent, this deal is done. no LOXs, no large deposits, nothing. Contract, appraisal, title, HOI, earnest money, done, closed. Okay? You can't be messing around if you get an opportunity to get a contract through and you're futzing around because either someone didn't give you money and someone didn't give you docs or who knows what happened. You're going to get smash mouthed by another loan officer that did this correctly. Okay? You need these files completely docked. When you're talking to people on the phone, they don't understand that. You need to scare them. You need to tell them, give me all your docs. If you don't give me all your docs, I can't help support your offer through. You're going to be competing against multiple offers. I need to be able to tell the listing agent, your file is completely done. Finished. There are some loan officers that I work with right now. Those of you that know this know what a BIC is. Those of you that don't, a BIC is basically a pre-qual that is completely docked. Completely, like kids' ages, names in there. No one has to get anything. Some of these people have upwards of 100 of these people sitting, waiting, ready to go. Okay. And they're pre-qualing more and more and more. All right. Also, they are staying in touch with these people. They're actually working my BIC PP system. Those of you, I see some new faces that are in a new crush group that just started. We get all over this around week 10. We'll be going deep on this, but the bottom line is it's all about contract to close speed right now, people. That's what it's about, okay? You need to dig in and make sure if you are apping someone, pre-apping, whatever you want to call them, you're going all the way to the hoop. Don't play this game. I'll just dock it when they get a contract because you won't be seeing a contract because that listing agent's going to talk to you and going to talk to someone else who's going to have the file completely done, and that is the person that's going to get the contract. Okay? This is very, 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 very important. All right? The other thing I'm sure you're seeing is when we talk contract to close for a minute, the other thing I'm starting to see in the market is we all know the trick of writing a cash offer and having it be and having them get a mortgage. As long as the appraisal's waived, people are getting away with that because no one needs to get in the house. Okay, as long as everything's waived on it, no one needs to get in the house. But we're also starting to see these moves where people are writing offers non-contingent on the sale of their home, making it a 30-day offer, and the second the ink is wet, their house is ready to go and they're listing their house and it's turning into a domino. Okay, we're seeing that go on as well. If you get asked about that, man, you better have that borrower completely licked and sticked and ready to go. Okay, or you could have a big problem if the agents are having to go to that level to get people into certain houses. I'm sure the other thing you're hearing a lot of is you're hearing about pencil selling and structuring and being able to really talk to people. What I mean by that is the other big thing is people buying new houses before they sell their old house. Again, same scenario, but these people might have to keep it after they close. How are you creatively figuring that out? Are they taking a margin loan? Are they taking a HELOC? Are they using a bridge loan? What are they doing? I realize not everyone is qualified to do these types of things, but can you even do it? Do you know how to pencil sell? Can you sit down with a pen or a pencil and a calculator and a piece of paper and really explain to your buyers what is going on and what they're going to need to do to get in their new house? Can you help your agent partners explain to someone why they shouldn't freak out about what they think is paying 50 or 100 grand over the sale price? Okay. Because I don't know about you all. If anyone thinks different than me, please go in the chat and let's talk about it. I do not see house prices falling anytime soon. They might level out in certain markets. They might level out on the high end. But if you got a starter home, if you got a 3-2, let me know right now if in your market you're seeing starter home, 3-2s, 3-bedroom, 2 baths, if you're seeing the price go down, because I haven't heard it anywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter whether the 3-2 is $850 or whether the 3-2 is $180,000. It doesn't matter whether you're in a small rural market or whether you're in a high-end, city. I'm not seeing those prices drop. And I'm not even seeing them level off. They'll level off a tiny bit when we get more houses on the market, which I think is about to happen. Okay. So Kevin Scott, everyone, I agree. All right. So, this is what I'm seeing right now. If you're not doing all these things at the highest level, you won't survive through this. And like I've been telling my VIP one-on-ones, I bet the next car you buy will be from an ex-loan officer. Ha ha ha. Meaning you got to dig in and push through this. You're still in the greatest business there is, but don't let what's going on in this market take you down or take you out. You can completely win. You can totally win. 100%. Everyone on this call can win. You just have to go all in, and you really have to work. Are you out there? If you stand up right now and turn around and look at your chair, does it look like an imprint of your butt? If it does, you have a problem, okay? You should not be sitting in your chair. You should be out. We all know COVID is over. Russia invaded Ukraine, so COVID's over immediately. By the way, it's not a political statement. That was just a statement about the news, about newsreels, okay? Meaning they're done talking about COVID. Now they're talking about, potential war, not a potential, a war with Russia and the Ukraine. And the bottom line is, agents are out. I just did an event in Hartford, Connecticut. Man, those agents were so happy to be out. I'm going to be with agents tomorrow in LA and the next day in LA and the week after that. And I mean, they're out and about, man. They want to do stuff. Okay. They also want to socialize because a lot of them are very frustrated. They're working extremely hard. As hard as you're working, writing all those multiple lender letters, they're having to write all those contracts every time. So they are really working hard right now. They need us to be true partners. They need us out there talking to them, hanging out with them, spending time with them, and really partnering with them. They need it now more than ever. So think to yourself, what business activity do you have this week to develop a new relationship or deepen an existing one? What do you literally have scheduled to do? Okay. And if you don't, that's a fail. If you do, do more. Okay. If you're going to see one person, see three. If you're going to see three, see five. Okay. Get out there and get in front of people. Those of you in my new crush groups will be going into this in detail on exactly what I want you to do. But the reality of it is the last place you should be right now is your office. It's not like you got a pile of refis to work on or anything. Okay. So you should be out STP seeing the people. Contract to close speed. What is yours? Can you close loans in 10 days? You better be able to. The only way you can do that is if they're fully docked. If they're not fully docked and all your people have to restart when you get the contract, shame on you. Your ops people are going to go crazy. Most of you work for companies that have already riffed people and you don't even have as many ops people. That shouldn't matter to you because you're doing your job correctly. By the way, just as a public service announcement, you all know I don't work for any big mortgage company. When your company does a riff or reduction in force, that's actually a place you want to work, not a place you don't want to work, because that's a place where they're smart enough to realize, let's get lean and mean and cruise through this. Okay. So that's really not a negative thing, everyone. All right. It's not a negative and it's not something you need to freak out about. It means the people at your company are smart and they're looking at the numbers and they know what's up and they're getting ready. Okay. By the way, if you're doing a bunch of purchase business, they're not going to mess with you. Okay. All of my clients that work for big companies that close a lot of loans, they're not messed with at all. All their people are in place. Okay. Because they're closing a lot of loans. People closing 1-2 loans a month, they're having different types of issues regarding LOAs and support staff and stuff like that. Okay. Contract to close, pre-qual. I'm telling you right now, be won over when you're running those numbers. I'm not telling you to tell a potential client that, you're sitting at 4.25 on a 30-year fix. Okay, I'm running your numbers at 5.25. No, saying that is usually hard to come back from unless you're really good. You don't need to say it. Just crunch the numbers higher. If they're qualified, they're qualified. It doesn't matter. If you tell them, hey, you're good to 420, they're good to 420. Okay? If they say, oh, what's my payment going to be? Give an approximate payment. You can't give their payment anyway. You don't even know anything. You don't know the taxes. You don't even know anything. This isn't smoke and mirrors. You literally can't give them your payment, their payment, because you don't know what their payment is. I mean, you don't know what they're buying yet. Okay. Your pre-quals licked and sticked. Ready for this? You all have heard this from me before. Go grab your last 10 loan approvals. If you have any conditions on that approval, you failed. The only allowable conditions are title, HOI, maybe a final VOE, earnest money, appraisal if you submitted for credit. That's it. And a contract if you did a credit approval, pre-qual. Okay? You have any other conditions on there, you have failed. If you have underwriters redoing your income, that's a fail. If you have large deposits, fail. If you need to provide LOXs, fail. All of that stuff should be in there up front. Your partner should know you can whale loans through at 100 miles an hour. Okay? Matt, send an email to josh@bigjoel.com. All right? Matt Lazowski. Thank you. Josh, that's about the invite for this call. Okay, everyone, it is 2:23. We're 23 minutes in. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Because I'm going to let you go. I didn't want to keep this call that long. I just wanted you to hear me. This is still the best business ever, and it's going to get better and better. And you are going to see houses starting to come on the market. Anyone have any questions or comments? Anyone that has their cameras on? Anything? Anything? Nothing. Jessica, you got nothing? You just got nothing for me. I'm just so good. You got nothing. Right?
I got a comment.
Who is that?
This is Kevin Scott.
Kevin. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say first time ever hearing your name, watching you and everything like that. It was just good stuff, and definitely look forward to the next time you do this. It was just good information. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Every 2 weeks, and Kevin, every one of these calls since the beginning of COVID. So there's 2 years worth are on YouTube. So if you want to watch any older ones, a lot of them, I have guests on. Some are just me. They're all there if you want to go watch them, okay? They're all on YouTube. On my channel, I think is the bigJOEL Show. Josh probably get mad at me, but I think it's the bigJOEL Show on YouTube, and you'll be able to find them all. They're all there. Okay, everyone, let's get out there and kick some ass, okay? Because you can and you should, and you know what to do. Do not let this market get you down. If your phone is ringing, you're winning. I'll talk to you all in 2 weeks.